Welcome back to
What's up,
CarTalk.
guys?
I'm Wob,
I'm Rob.
and this is CarTalk. And we have some exciting news. This is the first episode of Sorted for the West Coast.
Yeah.
And StormTrooper WRX, my 2006 Subaru STI 600 horsepower track beast, is going to make its debut. I'm scared. I don't know what they're going to show. It's going to be some interviews.
It's going to be interesting.
They're going to rip my car a new one probably because it doesn't really compare to, a GTR or an R8, but we'll see how it goes.
What will they make fun of first? That's the question.
Yeah, we'll see.
You got the zip ties that are holding the bumper on, and the paint.
And the paint chipping, and
Yeah.
the small racing bucket seats.
Yeah, your little bride seats that I sit in like this because
I didn't really have much time to clean the car either. Like, they gave us 24 hours notice to head down to Palm Springs to be on the show. So I did not even wash it. I didn't even really rinse it once we got there. Like, it probably still had bugs on the windshield from the drive down Highway 5.
For real.
But yeah, let's get into it. They're going to introduce all the West Coast cars. We're really excited to finally show you guys who these cars are and who the owners are. The owners were just as interesting as the cars.
Yeah, fun group of guys.
Yeah.
Really fun group. So
Let's
get into it. Hello.
Sheepy!
The Grom.
For all you Subaru guys out there, it's a treat.
Ooh.
We got two Subarus in the West Coast.
I love how they started out with Grom footage because that was the highlight of the whole day at Chuckwalla.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Rob, Ferretti,
All right.
Farrah,
Little
and
pit bike
Emelia.
around the track.
And behind us, we have a change of scenery. It's Palm Springs, California, and it's quite hot. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no
Emelia
shit.
and I were talking.
Super
and
hot.
she
Triple
thinks
digits.
Cars in California are a little bit better set up for handling different types of conditions.
Well, the cool thing about being out here on the West Coast is that we have a road with curbs. We can turn left and right as opposed to just going straight. So we'll actually really get to feel some of the handling of the cars prepared behind us today.
Today we're street driving on the side of a mountain, and tomorrow we've rented Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, a 2.5-mile road course.
We actually got to meet the owner of Chuckwalla just randomly because I wanted to go look at some American Iron Mustangs.
He's a big Mustang guy.
See if these
Super
tuner
nice
cars
guy.
can literally handle the heat. But
Yeah,
first,
it was hot.
a word from our sponsor.
Check
He
out
basically owns a
contestants.com,
giant adult
our
playground.
sponsor.
Is what we found
They made
out.
all this possible,
Yeah,
he's like,
super
and they
nice guy.
also make
I needed somewhere to
this
store my
hobby
toys.
possible.
Yeah.
And invite my friends. Like, okay.
Yeah, that was
Must
fun.
be nice to own a track.
It's too bad it's so far away. I'd like to go down there and just clip it. It's a cool track layout.
Super cool track. They have like an airstrip.
Hey, look who's up first.
Forgive me when I say this. From my experience at Subarus, if you like to build a Subaru, it's like being in a terrible abusive relationship. Because something is always breaking
Sometimes.
or going wrong. Unless you've dumped so much money into it, that at that point, you've got to guarantee that it's going to drive well. I personally have always wanted to build a Hawkeye. I love seeing this here because we didn't have any Subarus at the last one. Tell me a little bit about what you have done to this, David.
Yeah, well, that's why you got to build it right the first time. And not to
I'm
say
used to
I
stock
haven't
body
had
vans with big turbos, so.
I've never blown a Subaru motor, so.
This is your only Subaru motor?
This is my second motor,
Second
but
motor?
I never blew the first one, so. But I did it
I'm
right
on
the first
6
time.
right now.
I originally, wanted to
6?
build this car right with the closed deck IAG Stage 3
So
motor.
you did close deck?
How weird is it seeing yourself
and I
on
wanted it
camera?
right
It's a
around
little
500
weird.
horsepower. It just kept going.
And your car?
I like those
Right
shots
around
better.
600.
Yeah.
So definitely fun. It's definitely a purpose-built car. It's a people's car. I would not be here today if it wasn't for my Instagram followers and the Subaru community.
Oh yeah, I love the Subaru community.
He's checking to
this is
see
a
if
great
things are still hanging on the car.
You said purpose-built. What is the purpose?
So I originally wanted to build it to go to car shows,
straight-
connect with the community.
it was a scene queen
build a
for sure.
reputation for the
Yeah.
car, but also be
It
able
was
to track
slammed, dude. I had so much
time
camber.
attacks,
Yeah, you moved it in a
different
better
agencies
direction.
and
It's more
different
fun
tracks
now.
around California.
A little
Now you
bit.
say build a reputation. You put Stormtrooper on your car.
God, I got ripped for this.
Stormtroopers usually just stand there and get shot. I
forgot about that.
Really the representation
Well,
you want.
maybe not if you interpret it that way, but
Yeah, no.
stormtroopers are known as clones, and I wanted to create a benchmark for Subaru owners to aspire to.
Okay.
And the Subaru community is all about communicating and asking what you've done to your car and what you can do better.
Are these functional?
They are not.
So true. Subaru community.
No, for looks.
Your non-functional hood latches.
I'm
Hey,
a fan of
just
white
because I
pieces.
disconnected them.
I know, they broke. It is what it is.
Around 32 pounds
It was
of
funny.
boost.
My engine bay is so dirty.
Yeah.
I've seen better days. I've seen
Coolant
plenty
and
of
dust
track days,
everywhere.
So this is
Layers of coolant on it.
Coolant is better than
It's Shows it's been loved.
material.
Right. Oh yeah.
Did you say what size turbo you have on this?
It's a GT35.
GT35, that's right.
75 millimeter.
76
Okay.
millimeter.
How many boosts?
56.
Okay.
All of the boosts.
All the
56.
That's a lot of
What is-
boosts.
it's like
Yeah,
everything
It's a
with
56,
all the
76.
boosts. The thing about this car is that it's on air suspension, which is not what most people associate with track day and time attack. I happen to know one driver who races with a similar setup on
Cody
the Subaru
Miles.
and has a lot of success.
Sponsored by
at it,
Airlift,
but
too.
It's why did you make?
He
that
advised
choice?
you on a lot of
Was
Track
it
Dino
over
setup,
down?
right?
yeah. I wish I had a little bit more time to discuss with him. He would have got me set up right.
Very minimal history in track performance, but I think it'll be able to be
Minimal
adjustable
history,
on
yeah.
the fly. And
Minimal history is I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
To perform.
Just go in knowing that I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing and how well this car performs.
What is holding the bumper up?
Well, you know, it
The
came
zip
off the
ties?
trailer trip down here from San Francisco, so
Oh, you need to take that off to get it on the trailer.
Yeah, I have to take the
Good old
bumper off.
U-Haul
What
trailers.
would be your concern with the?
There's no
you know,
E85
as
stations
far as
all the way from
facing?
San Francisco down to Palm Springs, so I had to trailer it. Otherwise, we would have drove it.
But it was more comfy to be in the Cayenne.
It may not be the best.
Probably would have been a little bit deaf
What we've
too.
learned is mid-pack is solid.
Probably would've got a
for
couple
overall
speeding tickets, too.
performance. If you don't do anything perfectly, but you do everything good, you're going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
It's a good way to look at
thank you
it.
for coming.
Teasers.
We're excited to get behind the wheel of this thing. This thing looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
Foreshadow.
two of us fit in the seat.
Two of them fit in the seat.
Yeah, I was worried Matt wouldn't fit.
I barely
All right,
fit.
we have Michael here with the 2017 R8.
R8 ton.
And as if a V10 R8 wasn't fast enough, he slapped
As
a couple
if.
of turbos on it.
Thank
Why
Good
don't
old
you tell us
Sheepy,
about it?
man.
So this
Frickin'
is our
rocket ship.
Stage 2 Plus kit. It
Okay.
comes with Motec standalone and E85 with upgraded clutches and everything.
Okay, what's the difference stage 1, stage
Yeah,
2,
Alex
and
is
where
the
do
face
stages
of Sheepy,
stop?
and Michael
So,
owns
the
the
stage
shop
stop is
space,
stage
basically, is how it
two.
works, I
Okay.
think, in the
Yeah,
dyno room.
Michael's the
Turbo
mastermind.
kit and
Yeah.
a flash on the ECU
Good guy.
TCU.
Nice guy.
Okay,
Stage 2 is when you bump up to the Motec standalone.
sure.
And then stage 2 Plus is when you get
This
the
isn't his
standalone
car though.
and the
Yeah,
This is a customer car.
And then what's 3?
3 is going to be our built motor program. We're introducing that soon.
So that's for like half-mile race cars.
Mm-hmm.
half-mile race cars, quarter-mile, dig into every putt.
Well, I just know
Fun
this
fact,
car
you just set a
stock
world
is pretty
record in
awesome.
half mile
What's
in
the
one of their
horsepower on
Lambos.
it with the
Yeah,
turbo
shift
at
sector.
stage 2?
Yeah.
So with the turbos, with the Motec standalone, we're able to go from map 0 to map 4.
Okay.
So map 0 being the lowest, being around 750, 800.
And I only have 2
That's
maps.
how you
Yeah.
wanna
Go
maintain
fast
that.
map and run out of gas map.
Yeah. With Pumpy 85, you go all the way to 1300 horsepower.
Okay, and what is it on now?
It's map 4.
Oh, that's good.
So it's on
That's a good
chill.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll show you Michael and Sheepy's Instagram here.
One of the best
Yeah.
daily
Yeah.
driving
Craziness.
mid-engine
If
cars
you haven't
out
seen
of
their
the box.
channel.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
they
would
built some
expect
cool
for this
cars.
car to drive like a 1300 horsepower car.
Beautiful
Well,
welds.
But actually
Yeah.
drives
Some of the craziest
whenever,
header
whenever
tubing
Tanner gets in the
welding
car, I'm
setups
pretty sure
I've
he'll
ever
be amazed
seen.
that drives like stock. The clutches are the weak link in these cars, so that's when we start to
Yeah,
upgrade
that's
them
what
when
I've
it gets
heard.
over 1,000 horsepower.
I think they add a
So
couple discs. I
that's
think
why
it's
it's
like
That seems to be a
it's like a
recurring
small
thing.
clutch system, but
Yeah,
there's just
ECT is always like a-
many
It's
discs.
always ever evolving. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't
what's
know
the
a lot
Sheep
about him.
about?
I gotta learn more.
The sheep, so Alex Soto, the owner of Sheepy, he has his own story behind it. I don't know the full story, I just know it goes back to when he was a gamer.
I mean, it could be worse, dude. Skrillex
Gamer
is an
tags,
AOL
dude.
screen
Yep.
name, you know what
Gamer
I mean?
tags.
Names come from all
Stormtrooper
kinds
was
of
never one of my
places,
gamer
right?
tags
Yeah, but
though.
when I start putting sheep
Wob
on my
dog.
car, I start to
Wob dog,
I'm a
yeah.
Scottish man, and they can jump out with a kilt. That's
Well,
cool.
Hey, if you guys are on PS4, add me.
You know, it's intimidating.
Wob Dog
It's
123.
PS5 now.
PS5. I don't have a PS5 yet.
Yeah.
I do stand corrected though. We do have a car on drag radials.
Is this on
Oh, is this
Drag
drag
Race?
race?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is. So
Oh,
on the front,
boy.
we're rocking the Brixton forged with the Michelin PS4S, and on the
Okay.
back, the
If that thing
Michelin-
had track tires, you probably would have got smoked.
They're not
But
like-
You don't
drag
know?
radials not so good on a track.
Yeah, but those are good drag rails. I had those same ones on my Mustang. Back when I used to like going in a straight line.
And the rest of the
Back
cars
when it ran.
left below, right?
Stock
So,
front,
interior.
stock trans,
We'll get
stock
it up and
motor,
running.
still
Yeah.
mag ride shocks, the original. Yeah,
Got
okay,
some
great. All right,
news
so
to it
what-
on that.
Just
front
need a little
pretty
bit
soon, so-
dinero before we get it up and
Oh
running.
yeah, we got some
Soon.
Yeah, news coming on that front,
Stage
so
2
stay
Plus,
tuned on that.
$64,000 installed.
Now, what size turbos did you put on?
64K.
So these are precision.
That's more than I spent on my whole car and build, and that's just on
everything
one
fabricated
modification.
That's the turbo kit. Wow.
Okay, and when did they kick on?
Oh, must be nice.
So there's no lag.
Nice.
All right,
This should
well,
be a good
thank
time.
you. Yeah, I'm looking
excited.
forward
Cheddar.
to this. This is one of the cars I'm actually
this should be a very
super
good
excited
time.
for. And
You
I'm
said that
rooting
about
for
the
you.
last
Yeah.
one.
Thank you.
What?
Rob's
Said
just
that
saying he
last
loves
one.
everyone.
I root for all of them.
Yeah.
They're all, this is an elite group of people. Like this
It
is
is,
this
I'll
is
give
SEAL
it to
Team
you.
6 here.
I
So
mean,
I'm
he was
looking
heavily
forward to
involved
seeing
in
you
the
guys
selection of the
do.
cars, so obviously he loved every single one.
Yeah. Oh, it's time for Wes and the
All right, Wes from
GT350R.
San Diego with what might be the loudest car here. The
Yeah, Wes owns a
Chevy
detail
GT350,
business, and we'll show his
far
Instagram
from
right here as
stock.
well.
I've
Elite
seen this
Finish.
car around
Yeah,
Southern California
beautiful
with
work they
Chris
do.
Cross at events before. His company, Elite Finish, sponsors a lot of Southern California car events, so we thank him for that. Tell
That
us
car's
about your car.
immaculate.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for having
There's
me.
not one
So
smudge,
this is
scratch, chip
2017
on that thing.
350R, and,
Getting to ride in it was an
an
absolute
wow.
pleasure.
And
I gotta say.
right now, where we're sitting is a fully built by RPG Racing Engines motor, fully built T56 Magnum transmission,
Oh, nice.
and a triple disc clutch from Mantic.
See, that's what the
And,
other Mustang should have had in it.
Whipple has
Was
their
T56
Gen
instead of
5
that
Should have had a
junk
T56.
MT82.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, 3
Yeah.
liters?
3 liters of
It's
displacement.
my future
Sitting
plan.
on top
Where
of a
does
whole
it go?
The
motor.
West
I have a
Coast
T1.
Mustangs are
It's not
far
like a
superior
great
to the East
tell.
Coast.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering where it actually goes.
It's pretty
how does
remarkable.
That big
Oh,
old
wow.
Whipple.
My friend, you like to live dangerously.
And it wouldn't be a Elite Finish car if it didn't color match.
That car is a lot of
You
fun.
color matched everything too. Yeah. There's so much like
Right?
attention to detail on this. Yeah, I know, but like you don't. It doesn't. The show doesn't do it justice. Like there's so much attention to detail on this car.
Are changing over
It's just how
to
I've noticed with
crossplane.
detailers. My buddy Brad, he is all
Yeah,
about
for less
the individual
vibration.
little
The
details,
thing
and
is,
we'll be
though,
having
is
his
that
Cobra
the sound
on
that
our
this
channel. It's got a
motor
fun
puts
story
out
behind
is so
it. So
divine. Like I couldn't go away from its natural characteristics.
Right. So the thing with this engine from the factory is the revs. It's all about the revs. But now when you put a supercharger on it, how does that affect the revs?
I mean, we get
supercharger
there
with
a lot
flat plane
faster.
is a very interesting
It's
combination.
It is still the same. We do have a failsafe in there to where if the tires are spinning past 8,000 RPM, it will protect itself.
Well, that's no fun.
I know.
So the question
Yeah, I
is,
know.
on a benchmark car, is the GT.
It ain't a drift car.
So
That's basically what that meant.
It's
this
planted.
is going to be very interesting.
Even
We've
though
also got
Tanner
some
did make it
weight-
look like a drift car when he took it on the
some
track, that
reduction,
thing was
some additional
swanging.
trim, added the roll bar.
I think Tanner had fun with all the rear-wheel drive cars in
Yeah,
this
I got
competition.
sparkle seats in there.
Yeah.
Now, where would this come in versus a stock weight car? Did you net positive or net lose weight?
Probably
I
positive.
haven't weighted. I would say I'm probably right now a little heavier.
The power.
Because of the-
It's like triple the power.
Because of the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have more power, you have aero. I'd be
'Cause all
very
the cleaning
curious to
products
see
in the
this
trunk.
GT500
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
track.
that'll be interesting. We brought the factory, what the factory did.
I think I have
when they
beard
wanted
envy.
to do a similar thing. This is awesome, Wes.
Beard
Thanks
envy.
for bringing it
Beard
out.
envy.
I can't wait to drive it this afternoon. I can't wait to see the track.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We all have Magnus
Oh,
Moss
that
up there.
thing's- They don't think they did the R8 justice though. That thing sounded like a fighter jet.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the East Coast episodes, the 5-cylinder Audi sounded great, and then this version was just like a next level above that Audi. And I just don't think they got enough like outside of the car shots of this.
Well, we have some.
Well, we do have some.
Yeah, we'll have some in our behind-the-scenes
Are you
video that
getting
we're
ready
going
to
to
buy
release.
Subarus
I have
or
some
vaping
good
right
stuff.
I know.
Hey, Justin.
A Monster.
Justin owns Off-the-Line Performance out of Iowa,
there.
and it is a
They
really
specialize
nice
in
shop.
Subarus.
Yeah.
They're Subi guys through and
This
through.
is the car
Yeah.
that made
He had a
So,
whole
I
race
love
team
the
with them.
2.5
Yeah,
so much.
we'll link
I
their
love it
their
myself,
Instagram
so
to
I
the
was so
shop and
stoked to
his
see
as
this
well.
Pull up, not to be biased or anything, but I would love to know what you're doing to this to put some power down.
Well, it has a closed deck engine, big head studs.
It's a
still
common
stock
theme with high
turbo.
horsepower
Closed deck.
Subarus.
I thought he had a sleeved
The
block.
AC lines in the
No, he had a
way,
closed
and I
deck.
wanted
He's
to
got
keep
it
AC.
through.
So, I
What's the
built
company
it
that
as
they
much as
had
I
it?
could in order to retain that.
Okay. 6-speed transmission.
Yep, it's got
I can't
it's a
remember what it was
full
called. The other
2005
company.
STI drivetrain swap. It started out kind of as a stock 05, and then I just kind of added parts to it from there.
Are you on the 05 power steering rack as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, the cross member, the steering column, and steering wheel is all from the 05.
I did 05 also. that's
Yep.
why I'm
Hybrid.
asking.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe TQC.
An RSTI plus.
So like the 05 is an upgrade obviously for those, kind of like how the
Are you running
15
the DIC?
is going to be for my legacy.
The ABCD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So let's do the simple stuff. How much power does it make?
On the current map that it's on right now, I'm leaving it on the turn-up map so you guys can have fun with it. It's somewhere around the low 700 wheel range.
He's got a Hondo on me.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Hondo.
how much, where do you have to be on there?
Which is funny because
And you got a couple
You'll
hundred
find
I
out.
feel
pounds on
like
them, too.
mine felt
This
faster.
is a 2.5?
We'll see
Yes, it is a 2.5.
what they have to say in the next
Gauge,
episode.
It does
Yeah.
go to 10.
Yes.
Where does the engine
Goes
go?
to 10.
8.
Okay.
8,
All right.
yeah, similar red line to me. Well, when you go closed deck and you build your motor right, I think
don't know, somewhere around 10 years ago.
Does that mean it wasn't
Subarus typically redline at 7, 7.5. When you build the block, you can get them redline at about 8,
Can we see
8.2.
under the hood, Justin?
Yeah.
I believe
Mine comes out
my tuner
6,500.
said 8,300, but we dialed it back to 8 just to be
Yeah, so we
safe.
stayed stock interior, very fast.
It's a version 6 Japanese seats. Otherwise,
This car was so clean.
fairly stock interior.
Yeah, his was immaculate. Like his car made mine look like a rally
Oh, yeah,
car.
right,
Like how many
It's
chips
way
and
cleaner
paint
than that other
Yeah.
I
Subaru.
had off of mine versus his. And that engine bay is
And no
like
zip tie
pristine.
holding the front
Well, he keeps his indoors
bumper.
too.
Make more
Let's not
work.
hold our breath too much about the zip tie.
Doesn't live
I
on the
will
coast.
say that.
Yeah.
Constantly
tuning.
fighting corrosion.
Yeah, I will say
Land
I
of
love that
corn.
you've kept kind of the OEM appeal.
All right. So what do you have for suspension stuff?
It's got
Same
Bilstein
radiators,
PSS9
same
coilovers
blow off
on it,
valve, same
Fusco
wastegate.
camber plates
Very
in the
similar
front, Fusco
setup,
camber
different
plates
size
in the rear.
turbos,
On a scale of 1 to 10, how maxed out is this on a Subaru?
different
Is this-
engine builders.
In my opinion, the car's done.
Yeah, I think that's
There's a lot.
Both of our
I mean,
cars
I'm
are pretty
there's
done.
Different routes you
Yeah.
could go. I want it to be a high-power street car that's fun to drive.
Although there were some parts of his car that I love to do to my Subaru is this, the fuel surge tank in the back. I do get some fuel kit issues when I get below a quarter tank at the track.
Because I've done this
The catch can
myself.
setup.
Catch can, yeah, I need to move from an air oil separator to a catch can. I was getting some blow by and a lot of oil just getting dumped into the intake and burning off through the exhaust.
Yeah.
Is it 120?
Man knows his stuff. He is a smart guy when it comes to it. He's been giving me a lot of great advice
It's been this
towards
way for a
getting
long
my
time,
spec B
so
done.
it's had a lot of
So
years and,
hopefully to implement some of those
trial and
mods that
error
he's
in order
been
to get to this point.
advising me on in the future.
I'm looking forward to it.
And not just him, but his whole team. Like all of them are
Driving
super
it today,
knowledgeable.
Seeing what it can do at the track tomorrow.
All right, thanks, guys. You got
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
I don't know about
Man,
you, but
so,
none of us have enough
yeah, comparison of two Subarus done very differently.
Yeah.
Probably one's twice as expensive as the other.
They've got
Oh yeah, he's got a lot of money into that.
any situation.
He's owned it for a
They can
very
put
long
them
time.
on
Yeah,
outside
I think he
to
said
their
he's
need,
done
And on top of that, they will
7
buy
different
back from
engines?
you when you're done with it.
Yeah.
For up to
It was
50%
something like that,
of
6
the
or
Number
7.
two.
Lead
Yeah.
time is as short as 4 weeks for standard
He's
size.
definitely a
And when you're
perfectionist when it
done,
comes to that
get
car.
half
So
your money back
wow.
isn't a bad deal. So check them out. We put a link below in the description. See if Shape Solutions can have you covered as well.
Grant.
Good old Grand R35.
So I remember when the R35 GTR first came to market, and it was
He's
known
also got
for
an awesome
defined
S2000
physics.
too.
One of the
Oof.
biggest limitations when it came to modifying
He
them
does.
were the clutch packs and the
You should have brought those
DCT.
2K.
Grant,
Yeah.
how much have you modified this GTR?
Right now it's just a full bolt-on E85, so I've kept it pretty moderate. I've kind of maxed it out to its
Yeah, this is a
potential
great
before
car. I
we
mean, I
did
think you
the
picked it up for like
transition.
$55,000, which is a really good deal for R35 GTR.
What is that
And then
max
just
number
did straight
before you start
E85
doing all those
bolt-ons.
stuff?
I'm at about 670.
It's a great car. This one's very refined. I think this is like for an average person
And now does the
that
clutch
wants
become
a
fail
solid
point? Does that
performing
be
car.
an
This
issue?
is it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
a lot of
nothing
nice
crazy,
amenities.
nothing insane. You don't need to be a
What
car
will cause
person
that
to like
Is it-
get to this level.
Okay.
I feel like anybody can drive this car if they wanted to.
Amelia said she
100%.
remembers when
You know,
this
I wouldn't
came
trust
out.
just anybody
That
in
was
my
10
car.
years ago.
Like
How
you have
old
to know
were
what
you?
the hell you're doing. Otherwise, you'll kill yourself or you'll kill the car.
Middle school
Whereas
at
this-
Target?
I could
He
have
beats
It's
the
a
shit out of it.
solid car. Like I think this is not necessarily the definition of sorted show because it's pretty refined, but this is sorted. Anybody can hop in this car and feel like they're a car person, and that this car is insane for them.
Yeah.
But I think that's your advantage. The cars that are coming with 12, 13, 1800 horsepower, they have those limitations, especially when
Yeah,
we're
it doesn't
looking
break
at
the
heat
bank.
and reliability, which
Yeah.
is
He's got
what we
under
discovered
100
in the
grand.
I would
car
choose
ride.
choose this car and
I'm
modify it
excited
over,
to
say, like
see
a
how
brand
this
new car.
plays out. Is there
Yeah.
anything cool to look
The only
at?
thing I don't like about GTRs is just personally, I don't like the size. I like smaller cars.
They're a big car. And the all-wheel
You got
drive.
the carbon fiber steering wheel.
Yeah, I got lots of carbon goodies.
Lots of carbon stuff.
Get a
Are
lot
you
of
still on
carbon
factory
goodies.
suspension?
Yo, this car,
Yeah,
this,
yeah, I
this
kept
car
it
has the
factory.
biggest paddles I've ever seen. It's like a foot long.
Did
Yeah,
you
it makes
modify them?
Yeah, it's
You
just
did.
slip-ons.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a
It
GTR
looks
engine.
pretty
Yep.
stock. So now this thing is making 670
Looks pretty
wheel
stock.
horsepower, all wheel horsepower.
Yes.
That's a
That's
lot.
gonna be fun.
Remember how Nissan was like, we have to build this engine in a hermetically sealed factory and lab coats and all that, and it made 485 horsepower, and then you get some like yokel in Ohio in a shed that turns out like 1,200 horsepower. It's like, he didn't need the lab coat. What's the deal? I don't know about that. These things are great fun,
true.
especially on the track because they don't feel so big. The
Token
track
tuner
tends to
car.
Shrink the car down
Yeah.
a little bit. On the street, on our canyon road, I suspect this is going to feel like a pretty big car. But I imagine fully functional, air conditioning, everything good. So
This is a car similar to the Subaru that just is asking to be like opened up.
But I basically treat it like it is.
Like, yeah, to me it is full potential because from the factory, Subarus and GTRs they're so down tuned. They're so much more capable without even having to like rebuild the motor or anything. Like just changing a tune or the fuel, you can get significant power.
But everyone should be worried about that.
A cooling thing. You think its cooling temperatures are going to start to?
I think they'll rise. I don't think it'll overheat. I just know that I did a track day in it. I didn't bring it to Chuck Walla the one time, but it was about 105 up at Auto Club.
All right, thanks, Grant. This is good.
It's funny. We saw on his Instagram. He was like down at Chuck Walla a week later with a Lamborghini that he rented. I guess.
Yeah, he rented a Huracan.
Yeah, looked like he was having a blast.
Car, which you should. Which is no small feat. I think you'll do pretty well.
We got along with everyone down there. It was a lot of fun. So
we also have some video of him racing his GTR with my dad's M4.
Well,
it's time for John. John's a character, man. Funny dude.
John's our favorite.
Swapped the 16 in there. Did all the
so funny. Just the way he talks about his car.
Is it twins or it's a single?
Yeah, we were talking to them outside, you know, just laughing and shit. And we all were like, okay, we're gonna head back to the rooms, and I gotta work on some. I had to work on some classwork. You were chilling out. And we go in and go out on our balcony, and they go out on theirs, and they're right below us, and we're just laughing and
that was all
talking shit all night. It was really funny.
So much room in here.
Magic touch. There is a lot of room. There used to be a battery here.
This is very well done.
It had a wire tuck.
Who signed your engine?
Very Fast and Furious.
Jesse from the first Fast and Furious.
Oh, yep.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, he does. He works for a company that does Fast and Furious replica cars.
Yeah. So they remake all the original Fast and Furious cars. I think they just finished a Civic, like the Civic that was used to hijack the semi truck in the first Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
And his buddy that came with him, Michael, he has a R33 GTR as well.
I would have loved to see that R33 on the show.
Yeah.
All right, we got some HKS.
Really clean white one.
Suspension here.
R33s are severely underrated compared to the R32s and the R34s. They're kind of looked over, I feel like.
Yeah, I just have it set up.
Not so much currently though. Now you can import them.
Yeah, but the 25-year mark coming in.
Now, this car is probably a built bottom end. You're not making 800 on stock.
Stock bottom end.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stock intake.
Tuesdays are forged internals factory, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's an iron block. I mean, it could hold a lot of power regardless.
You start to push it
Just
around
like the 0304 Cobra engines.
True. You just gotta keep the torque a little low and save the crank and stuff like that.
Torque a little low is easy. You just put a really big turbo.
Yeah.
All the horsepower, none of the torques.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like it's functional, man. It looks like clean. It should be good.
That comment right
so
there.
brutally honest.
I got really big into drifting when I was like 17, and I still am.
It was on Hyperdrive.
So I got the Federal RSR.
Check him out on Netflix.
And then I got the new
Yeah. He was on
He
there
has the
on
green
Hyperdrive.
Mustang.
It was blue.
Blue Mustang, sorry.
Yeah.
This isn't a compound. Okay.
Have you taken this to the track before?
No, I took it to Fontana to do the quarter mile.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you think this will handle
straight-line
compared to some of the
monster.
other cars here?
Probably terrible.
Brutally honest.
Just super honest.
And the drivability of the car just took a shit.
The two-way?
Chattery?
Yeah, the diff. I was hearing a lot about the diff. It
Just the
was
drivability of the car.
not pleasant. So.
I can't wait.
Yeah, and then with the combination of the
He seems to
clutch
make do with it.
being so
I've seen
aggressive
flames
already,
and
because an
tires
RPM
burn on this thing frequently.
Yeah.
Took a dump there as well.
You don't sound very confident.
Yeah, you're selling
This is
that.
like the driver's car. It's going to get sideways on you immediately. You can't touch any of the first 4 gears because it's just.
You may kill yourself
Okay.
driving this, basically.
Immediately.
Literally, you look up Supras and Vipers, and it says in the definition, prone to killing you.
I mean, I guess if you're off boost, it should corner decently. You know, it's a decent handling car. But besides that, if you're trying to give it throttle, you're gonna spin the hell out. And
That sounds fun. We're looking forward to it.
Kind of like the last Supra, except it had drag radials.
Bringing it out. We're looking
Seriously.
forward to driving this. We will.
I don't know if anything could be as insane as that Supra. That Supra made that 2,000 horsepower Viper look like a cakewalk.
Oh, it sounds good.
So if you modify cars or you're in that world,
Supras,
imagine having a failure on the car.
They're in a class of their own.
Yeah.
Like Tanner said, they should have a competition of just super high horsepower Supras just on drag radials. Have 8 to 10 of them just try and make it around a track without dying.
Yeah, the problem is you'll drive the value of Supras up because all of them crash.
True. There's probably a decent amount. I'm curious how many are like, still out and registered.
It's no joke.
Do you have a fire extinguisher in your car? If you do, is it a cheap dry
start at
extinguisher?
$50K.
Step one, if you have a fire that's electrical, you do not want to use a dry chemical on it, as cleanup will be impossible. You will have made a mess of something where you could just have put it out and fixed your electronics.
My Bronco lit on fire, and I had
You should be using H3R Performance's Halgard extinguisher. Which
think of the Fast and the Furious cars, I still think the R34 is my favorite.
It attacks fire without leaving a damaging residue.
The Supra's up there, and everybody I think everybody chooses the Supra, but the R34 GTR is probably my favorite.
Honestly, I'm kind of on a very different level of my favorite Fast and the Furious cars.
Also car?
I love the 70 Monte Carlo from Tokyo Drift.
Oh, okay. Tokyo Drift. That one actually is really cool.
Yeah. I've always been a big fan of it with the big NASCAR balloon tires. You know, it's not meant to look like a show car. It's just meant to be a beat up car, and it shows it too.
Joel.
Good old Joel.
Joel, welcome. You have a C5 Corvette.
Triple digit,
you and I
quadruple digit horsepower.
Spent far too much money on
You look
C5
up Corvette owner in the dictionary, and there's a picture of Joel in
getting rid of
It's so true.
It got me through.
But he's had that car since brand new.
Joel has had his car, I think, longer than me, but going back to the early 2000s. And I could tell about this car, but why don't you let us know what you've done to this and just estimate how much money and how many kids you
Matt and Rob are probably going to score this one pretty high when they drive it because they both have owned C5s.
Yeah.
Way it sits right now is a QMP.
If I remember correctly, Matt had already driven it on a 110.
Yeah, he did.
So
East Coast supercharger bracket and a custom one-off air-to-water heat exchanger.
Methanol injected, 1,000 horsepower LS.
I remember I'm having to make run an errand in the morning and go get a bunch of methanol to pour into the tank.
Not methanol, paint thinner.
Yeah,
which is methanol. Went to the hardware store and got paint thinner and poured it into his tank.
Right around 880 at the wheel.
Worked.
So I've actually driven this car. What, 4 years ago maybe?
It was about 2, and I had to remind you that you actually drove it.
How many one takes has Matt done?
Which is fine, and for this show that works well.
Yes.
And you enjoyed it.
I believe I enjoyed it.
I know.
As you pulled in and I saw the door panel, the seat, the fact that this weather stripping is coming right off in my hand, and the
hey man, it's an old car.
It brought me right back
Classic.
to
Old car, and he lives in the desert, so everything dries out.
Oh god.
I mean,
Good luck keeping plastics.
As someone who has not owned a car from El Paso, I can tell you how dry weather
All the
stripping
plastics
gets.
get brutal.
Starting.
I would agree with you on
Bang for
that.
buck. It can go 175.
Oh, the value of C5s are going to skyrocket. They're probably the cheapest dollar per horsepower used car you can get on Auto Tempest.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can think of anything else that would probably
You put a little pressure on your
Be
head
fun
there.
to build the C5
25
or something.
You know what I would do though? I really want to build a drift car, but I don't think Corvettes are great for drifting.
Yeah, we saw a C506 at Sonoma drifting, and it was just gripping
The
too
first
much.
car is
Yeah.
down unsorted.
Sorry about that.
Plus, also you don't really want a fiberglass car when you bang a wall. You know.
Yeah.
Done for cooling in the front.
You want a Volvo that the wall.
You don't really want to hit people's
destroyed.
doors with your front tire when they're fiberglass.
It is an East Coast supercharging bracket.
It would be a good track build, just budget track build.
Well, that's what Rob has as well. He has a
John,
I have 2.
the Super owner, just bought a C5 track car.
And the third
Yeah, that's exactly what I do, making a track car.
It takes like 14 left turns.
I remember my first experience with the C5 was a guy named Calvin. He used to run Bay Area Racing.
Right off the dryer, right?
And that thing was like 700-800 horsepower. And this was back in 2010, and it was one of the hottest cars that ran out in East Bay for a while.
I don't know what happened, they fell off. I don't see too many on the road anymore.
Yeah.
My heart is with this one.
He said that about
As
it.
hard as
I know.
this.
I've been sitting here.
Take whatever Rob says with a grain of salt. This is my favorite one. To every single one.
We break everything.
Oh, hello.
Oh no.
We break everything.
Hey, there we are.
Did you enjoy the show?
Oh no.
Me and my bright red Niners hat.
Oh no.
Go over to Auto.
Oh man. All right. Well, so they just did the introductions. I really wish they didn't really prepare us on what we should say on the interviews.
Yeah, it was more fun that way.
Yeah. No, I just wish we learned a little bit more about the cars. Maybe we'll post up another video of what the actual interviews were because they only maybe captured about a third
I
of
have
them.
both your individual and your group interview in full length recorded, so we can throw some stuff in there and get the extra questions that they didn't.
Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot to learn about some of these cars, especially. I mean, obviously, I'm biased towards Subarus. I want to learn what everybody's done to their cars. But if you're a Corvette guy or a Mustang guy, I'm sure you want to learn more about Wes's and Joel's car, which they didn't really get into the weeds of like everything that they've done to them. So hopefully we can fill you guys in on that.
Yeah, we got to learn a lot, just off camera about their cars and the history of them. The one thing that I remember Rob and Matt were saying that we mingled a lot more and talked a lot more than a lot of the East Coast guys. So we actually learned a lot about all these guys, and had a lot of fun time hanging out. A lot of time. Funny stories and
a lot of time spent in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Kicking tires.
Kicking tires, talking shit, the usual. It was a lot of fun though, but very nice hotel, just great setting to, get away for a little while.
It was awesome. Yeah. Well, that's the first episode. That's the intro to the West Coast. Let me know what you guys think of the competition, where you think the Subaru is going to place. We have some stiff competition on probably the lowest horsepower car on the West Coast. Maybe even the lowest horsepower car out of the whole show. So let me know where you think I'm going to finish.
I think you're still faster than the IS. The IS was somewhere in the 500s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the 1J.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, next episode, they're going to do the reviews and what they think of the drivability of the car. They're going to take them through the mountains. And it should be interesting. So look out for our next video. It'll be coming up next on the car review. So we'll see you in episode 6. Peace out.
Sounds good, guys. Take care.